finance. If you know your party's extension, you may enter it at any time. If you do not know your party's extension, please press 0. JJ, I have Mr. Roberts for you. Go ahead, please. Thank you. Good afternoon. This is JJ with Capital One Auto Finance, Office of the President, on a recorded line. And for the record, it's Nathan.
Yes, that's the name. And I'm all, just to be fair, you're also on a recorded line on my side.
Okay, and are you being represented by an attorney at this time?
No, they're all incompetent, so I'm representing myself.
Okay, let me mark that on the account. I appreciate it. So, I'm only allowed to call you just the one time with permission from our cease and desist team, since you did ask for a call back. The escalation I received was in regards to wanting the title right away. Is that right?
That's in part. That's only one of the aspects. First of all, before we get going, I want to qualify first that you are competent. Did you know that a Federal Reserve note is cash?
Federal Reserve note is cash. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you also know that Federal Reserve note is a non-interest bearing promissory note?
Non-interest bearing promissory note. Bear with me. I just want to make sure I have all the words exactly as you present them. Why are you asking me that?
Because if you don't understand that, then I'm not speaking to yet a competent person, and I made it clear that in my conversation with Olivia, because she was unaware that cash is a Federal Reserve note, and she would never admit it. She only said every time I asked her, if I was to pay cash at one of your locations, and I've got this recorded, and I have even posted it on YouTube, that if I present cash, would that be as that being Federal Reserve note, is that a valid form of payment? She said no, Federal Reserve notes are not a valid form of payment. She at least 3 times acknowledged her ignorance. And this is coming from the office of the president at the highest level of finance. So I want to make sure that, JJ, with all due respect, I'm speaking to someone supposed to be at the highest levels in finance. And if you don't know what a promissory note is, I'm still not talking to the right person yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of different definitions out there for a, quote, promissory note.
There's only one definition that matters, and that's the legal one.
Okay, and I really do want to help you.
Okay, that'd be great.
This was not in the write-up. The only thing in the write-up was that you paid off the loan and you wanted your title. I'm not able to override the time frame for the title to be sent out to you. If you paid with a legitimate payoff, then of course the account will go through its normal closing procedure and the title will be released after 5 business days from the post date of the payoff.
I guess I need to speak to someone above you. Or is the president available? I'd love to speak to Mr. Fairbank. Is he available?
No, he doesn't speak to customers, sir. He's busy running the company. What question have I not answered about the payoff and the title?
You have not, you're not aware of what a promissory note is, which means you are unable to assist me with handling the fact that your company, for one, owes me a refund, and then secondly, they either owe me because I'm the creditor of the USA. They did not issue any of their funds to back the loan. All they did was they took that security instrument, the original contract, which they don't even have the original contract anymore, and they securitized that copy, and they created a loan, a debt out of it. So there was no asset.
That in writing.
You know, I've already done.
What you're saying
Yeah,
now.
I've already done all this. I've already done it in writing. So the point
We've
is,
already responded in writing to you, correct?
very incompetently so. Yes, very
That's
incompetently.
all that's going to happen out of that.
Actually,
They will review for a refund, though, and send it out to you if
Right.
the loan is overpaid.
it is because I've already paid with a promissory note back in September, which is why your company issued a cease and desist against me. Or not against me, actually against yourselves to stop talking to me. That's how terrifying it is. You guys self-indict yourself because a cease and disorder is an admission to illegal activity by legal definition.
I disagree.
Well, you don't have to agree. You can open up a dictionary book, and if you can read incompetent, you'll understand what it says.
I've answered the question about the title and the payoff. A promissory note a discussion about promissory notes. If you do want to get into like legal, like specific legal terms regarding a promissory note, it has to be sent in writing.
It already has. It already has, and your office is incompetent.
And we'll uphold our previous response to you in writing from when you sent it in prior. It's going to be the same answer.
Yeah, can I speak to someone else who's above you, please?
There isn't anyone else. This is the highest level of escalation we have in auto finance.
You're the most competent person in the office right now to handle this matter.
I'm the highest level that speak on the phone to customers in all of Capital One Auto Finance.
You have any superb attorneys available?
Our lawyers don't speak. We answer that kind of request in writing, and we've already responded to you.
Just so you know, your guys' company is so fraudulently involved deep into stealing money and assets from people. It's disgusting. It's absolutely sickening. And I don't even know how you can work for such a company. It's sickening. You guys use the credit of the people, of us, and even though in some of the cases you are also party to that credit, and you just let it go on and on and on. It's ridiculously sick. You access our lines of credit.
I appreciate your feedback.
No, you access our lines of credit and then act like we owe you something when you gave nothing in return other than a debt on your stupid screen. It's sickening. How much do they must pay you pretty good to do that, right? To validate the fraud?
I won't discuss my payment for working for this company with you.
Well, they gotta pay you pretty good to sear your conscience.
Any other questions about your account status?
Yep, so the promissory note was sent in mid-September, and your company has acknowledged that they're ignoring it, which by default, by UCC code 3603, that is an automatic discharge. So now, with me paying through this ACH, this is an overpayment, which means I'm now entitled to a refund for that amount of the ACH.
Well, like I said, if there's any refund owed to you, sir, it'll come out to you.
I hear what you're saying. What I'm seeking is to get confirmation that that will happen as far as the amount.
I don't see anything posted for payments in September, so the promissory note was not posted on here as a payment.
Right, and that's incorrect. So that needs to be rectified immediately.
We already answered you about a promissory note. We don't accept that as a form of payment.
Do you realize then you do not accept Federal Reserve notes or cash then for payment? That's what that means.
I disagree with your statement.
They don't have to disagree with it. Open up a
We
law
have a
book.
right to.
Open up a law book.
We have a right to accept whatever
Are you a lawyer?
form of payment we want.
Are you an attorney? No, you don't. You can't. You guys, everything is insolvent, so that you can't require any payment of any form. That's actually the truth of the matter. Everything is insolvent. There is nothing backing nothing at this point in time. So you guys accept whatever form of payment I, the creditor of the United States of America, offer. That's what happens. Of which I was generous enough to even issue you a promissory note, which is no different than the Federal Reserve note, which was created off of my back anyways.
Any other questions about your account, sir?
Yep, I'm just waiting for confirmation that you guys acknowledge you owe me a refund based upon the promissory note.
I told you the answer was I am not able to verify any such
Well,
refund at this time.
You're not able
As it
to.
goes through the closing process, then if any funds are due to you, we will send them.
If you're not able to verify it, then someone else will be able to.
At this time, as of today, there's nobody that can verify that. It's going through the closing process. You'll have to wait, sir.
Nope.
As of right now, there's no refund be issued from what I can see.
I know, from what you can see. So I need to talk to someone else who can see. Because you cannot see.
There's nobody else that can see that you could talk to on the phone. It's going through the closing process. That's all back office type information, and they'll post it on your account within a few more business days. If any kind of refund is going to be issued to you, it's not looking like it though. To be honest.
Yeah, and
so I
that's
would say
the
there's no
issue.
refund coming at this point.
Right. Okay. Well.
Any other questions I could answer for you?
Yeah, I'm curious to know, why do you guys get scared of people who issue a promissory note and you guys issue a cease and desist on the account? Why do you do that? Have you ever thought about that?
I'm not scared of a cease and desist on an
Yeah.
account, so
You're
I
not
couldn't
scared?
answer that one.
Well, what's kind of interesting is when I was quizzing the person about what the cease and desist is on one of your agents, they made it abundantly clear that a cease and desist means that you guys can't even engage in any collection activities. Is that not true?
We don't make outbound calls or send letters. We only send the state-required items, like if the account were to escalate to possible repossession, we send that, and we send the monthly statements.
Yeah, but
That's
how can you send either one of your own agents or a third-party contractor and still not be engaging in communication, especially if that happens on the property of me? Then you're going against the own cease and desist. So how can you collect?
We still have laws we have to follow. Even if an account is in cease and desist, we still have to follow certain parameters. And we're within those guidelines for your account. Any other questions about account status? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was asking if you had any other questions about your account status.
Yeah, I'm just looking for confirmation of the refund. I mean, I can stick to a script just like you can. So I'm looking for the confirmation of the refund as acknowledgement of the promissory note. What time you get off from work?
Our office hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're closed at lunch from 12:30 to 1:30.
So you guys have a copy of the original contract I signed with y'all? Do you have that?
We do.
No, you don't.
I believe it was sent to you a few times already, right?
Those are just copies.
Well, since the account is paid off at this point in time,
Well, if the original
all I
don't
have
exist,
are copies.
right? Well, if
I don't
the
have an original, I just have copies of it.
yeah, the account was paid off in full from the moment of my signature. So what happened is that the funds got released not from you, but from the government for that contract to the dealer, and then you guys took the paper contract and got a copy of it, and then securitized it unlawfully, illegally so. So you didn't offer value for value. You guys didn't put your wedding signature on it, so it was a unilateral contract. It was not full disclosure that the monies had already been paid based upon my credit of my account. So like, there's so much fraud involved. It's not even funny. And I know you know.
I would reach out to a lawyer if I were you for that.
All about this. You know all about this. Unless you just got hired on and promoted within the last week, you know all about this.
Only a lawyer can help you with all of that, sir, that you're claiming. I can answer account status, information about when the title will be released, and I can advise I don't see any refunds come in off this account. All that other stuff that you just mentioned, you need to get a lawyer.
No, that's the last thing I need is some
We've already
incompetent
answered
lawyer.
you, and
Because
we're
you
going to
guys,
uphold our
y'all use
previous
incompetent
statement.
lawyers, incompetent attorneys to even answer. So it's amazing.
Well, I definitely couldn't help you with that piece of it.
Yeah.
So. So you have my number. Feel free to call me back if you have any questions in the future, okay?
I got a question.
Okay.
Do you think you're living on a spinning ball?
That doesn't pertain to your account, sir.
Yeah, it does. It's all BS.
Do you have any other account questions that I could answer?
I mean, you could answer, but it doesn't seem as though you know how to.
I'll answer account status questions, Mr. Roberts.
So basically, you just read off a screen. You're not allowed to think. That's what's going on. I'm sorry. I know I can't help
If you think of any questions about your account, you give us a call back, okay?
If you find anyone more competent than you, you call me back.